everybody, Ashley here. So I'm here to talk about this week's blog post, and what I'm addressing this week is exercise and exercise guidelines. So what the title is why your normal exercise routine shouldn't be normal. And there's a reason for this. As the new year approaches and as the holidays are approaching, I know that a lot of us want to get back into our routines and get back into fitness and overall health and wellness. So here's a little bit of a guide on how to do this. So guidelines based on recommendations by the World Health Organization recommend that we should be doing 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise per week. On top of that, they also recommend 2 days of full body strength training. So yes, lifting weights and doing resistance training is a very important thing to our health and wellness. So if we look at what these guidelines recommend, moderate intensity exercise is when you're working at a heart rate that is 50 to 70% of your heart rate maximum. Heart rate maximum, okay, something that we learn is that it can be calculated using 220 minus your age. And that's kind of a guideline. For some people it may be more, for some people it may be less, but use that as your tool. Okay, things that kind of constitute moderate intensity exercise are brisk walking, lifting objects less than 45 pounds. Those are two examples. Doing housework sometimes, as long as your heart rate's getting up. And for everybody, this will be different. For vigorous intensity exercise, it's recommended that you should be doing, your heart rate should basically be above 70 and less than 85% of your heart rate maximum. If you're running, kind of cycling, doing things that are really getting your heart rate elevated, then you're spot on, okay? Those are kind of guidelines that are recommended, and it's actually extremely important, okay? For overall health and wellness, that is a good track to take, especially when you're starting to get back on track. Now, in regards to strength training, I know a lot of people don't necessarily always like to do strength training activities. A lot of the time it's because you don't know where to start. But in regards to strength training, it's great because strength training can not only help prevent future of like bone disease such as osteoporosis, but it can help you relieve sometimes chronic pain. And it can also just help you prevent these repetitive stress injuries that we see a lot in the clinic that come up when somebody's only doing one form of exercise. And that's also another reason I wanted to do this post. If you are somebody who loves yoga, loves Pilates, only runs, or only does something such as cycling, you really need to start thinking about expanding that niche, okay? You can't necessarily always do the same thing over and over again because that's typically when we tend to see injuries, okay? The other thing is that you won't necessarily be meeting these guidelines. Why? If you do yoga or Pilates, depending on the type that you do, you may not be getting your heart rate up high enough, okay? You may not be getting the benefits of the aerobic activity. If you are only running, you're not getting the benefits of the strength training activity. Yes, we do gain strength when we run, but the other thing is it's also likely for us to have an injury, okay? If you want a little bit more information, continue to read the blog. There's different activities in there that kind of tell you what each category can fall into. If you need help developing a strength training program, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. As PTs, we're not only here to help you get better from an injury, but we're also here to help you prevent an injury. And that's what a lot of people don't know. We're here to help you kind of figure out where your next step is and to help you perform at the best you can, all right? Like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season.